We've only been doing woodworking, believe it or not, about 3 years. We got a Ryobi toolkit, 6-piece combo toolkit, and I built my first birdhouse, and from there it took off.
So what was your next major tool acquisition?
Our first stand-up tool was a Ryobi miter saw, but we bought a cheap table saw and upgraded to a cheaper table saw, and then our first major one was a Craftsman. It was just a world of difference and changed how we look at things with regards to nice stable cuts and everything. But it was the one tool Cindy was comfortable with using every tool in the shop except for that old beast of a Craftsman table saw, and she got experience on the saw stop.
You have a whole shop full of power tools. Do you buy them as you need them, or do you buy them for the future?
Probably a little of both. We started out with, we had an older version of bandsaw, and it worked wonders, except when you had to change the blades. And then we realized we needed 2 bandsaws, one for the bigger cuts and one for the smaller cuts. Pretty much as we need them. We add tools or exchange tools.
We kind of buy them for the future. By the time they're in the shop, we have at least 10 reasons we need them though. Yeah, we did just acquire a second bandsaw. I use bandsaw here so that we can have like a 3/16 blade on this one and have our resaw on the Laguna.
So how do you acquire your woodworking skills? Are you self-taught? Do you read books? Do you watch TV shows?
Every way possible. We continuously study. We do continuously record TV shows. We heavy on YouTube. We're in Facebook groups. We are members of the St. Pete, proud members of the St. Pete Woodworkers Guild. And we get a lot of information from there, from the monthly meetings and from other members. It's great to be a member of your local guild. It's a great source of information, but we absorb every way we can.
So you've developed shall we say, a craft business?
Kind of hybrid craft woodworking, and like I said, we're getting into some embellishment to our woodworking with the CNC.
Is every piece custom, or do you make pieces to keep in stock?
We have pieces to keep in stock because most of what we sell is on Etsy and online, but we do custom. We have a table that we were just finishing up today that is a commissioned piece.
Do you have a standard set of plans for your drawing, for your projects, or is everything custom?
No, everything's custom. We usually make them individual. So some of the things that we make, such as the end grain cutting boards, we make quite a few of. Those are pretty standardized, so we not necessarily follow plans, but we've done them quite often. So
you're a husband and wife team. How do you work in the shop together?
That has been one of our greatest motivations and joys, because it gives us something that we can do together. It gives us activities that give us an outlet, that spend time together, the quality time that most couples don't get.
Do you ever have any little spats or disagreements in the shop?
Not in the shop. Not too often elsewhere too, but yeah, we're a couple.
So do you listen to music or anything while you're working in the shop?
Occasionally listen to country. We have Alexa available out here.
What was your first woodworking shop like?
It was a small one-car garage, and we did not let that stop us. We crammed tools into it left and right. We always figure we don't need, we love a bigger shop, we don't need a bigger shop, we just need to organize better. And every time we organize better, we get more space. We've done that again in the last 3 or 4 months. We built 2 mobile wood carts for our dimension lumber. We've gone through our scrap bins and eliminated half of them. We built a new miter station, a new extra mobile cart to store our templates and everything beside the router station to accomplish that. We completely tore down a wall that was holding wood and reorganized our wood place. We have added a laser CNC, which we had a laser CNC before. It was a CO2 laser. We had a diode laser, which we're much happier with because it's a smarter laser. We just added a Bob CNC for a router CNC that we are still getting functioning, and it's starting to work out. It's progression that we had added in the last couple of weeks. So we're constantly adding tools as we organize and get better and make our space. So we just did a recent organization the last couple of weeks and changed around some things, and we got a lot more floor space. And my first question is, how do you get more tools? Not that we need any, but no, actually we're going to use the floor space to be able to do some bigger builds.
I have no idea where to put more tools. So
Look at all this room we got.
So what's your favorite power tool?
My favorite is a saw stop, and I probably use the bandsaw a little bit more than I use the saw stop.
My favorite is always going to be the table saw, and most versatile, but I'm really enjoying how quick things can be done on the router table. And as a toy right now, the laser engraver is having a lot of fun.
So you've got a CNC machine, a laser engraver, and all these nice big power tools. Let's switch gears a little bit. What's your favorite non-electric tool?
Screwdriver.
Sandpaper. Actually, I like doing, after you've done all the rest of the prep, I really like the feel of when you're doing your final sanding by hand and smoothing things out and going over the piece that you've spent all this time on and going over with your final grit by hand to smooth out every last imperfection. I like that feel with the sandpaper. You really get to feel like you're a sense of accomplishment and a sense of that's where I feel like a lot of the craftsmanship, you're smoothing out the final imperfections on it.
So Leland, if you were to give 2 words of advice to a new woodworker, what would they be?
Don't be brand specific on your tools. Don't follow the hype of a brand. Buy each individual tool based on good research and individual information about that tool, because no brand has the perfect lineup of every tool. Some tools are not going to be perfect in your lineup, and there will be better choices. So take your time, do your research, buy your tools with care. And the other is every dollar that you spend on sanding is worth $5 on every other tool that you spend. The sanding makes your project worth more, is more dollar for dollar of a value than any other tool that you'll buy. And a sanding can turn around a project that has some serious flaws at the end, whereas your time that you spend sanding and a tool that makes that more efficient will make you a better woodworker. Because, for instance, if you have a ROS sander that is easier to use and more ergonomical and does not tear up your wrist on vibrations, you'll spend longer on each grit. You'll take your time, you'll do it right, and you'll make a better product.
Cindy, obviously woodworking traditionally has been male dominated. What words of advice would you have for women who are interested in pursuing the craft of woodworking?
I'll go for it. It definitely is not male dominated anymore. There are more women out there that are making wonderful products. So go for it. If you want to do it, don't let it hold you back. Find something, do YouTubes, do books, go to a class. Most classes are pretty reasonable. Some find a guild. They'll help you find classes. If you really want to get into it, go for it.